Hello, today we're going to be in Hebrews 4:14 through 16, and the flow of thought in chapter 4 up to this point was about entering into God's rest. And because we are trying to enter into God's rest, we want to focus on how we do that, and that is by focusing on Jesus. Because we have a great high priest who has passed through the heavens. So we've got this great high priest. Jesus has been 2 times up to this point in the book been described in this way as the high priest in 2:17 and in 3:1. In 2:17 it says, "Therefore he had to be made like his brothers in every respect, so that he might become a merciful and faithful high priest in the service of God to make propitiation for the sins of the people." And so we actually see some of the same language in this text as was in that text, that every respect is there. And then in 3:1, "Therefore, holy brothers, you who share in the holy heavenly calling, consider Jesus the apostle and high priest of our confession." And so 3:1 uses this confession language, and then 2:17 uses this every respect language. So he's just bringing back these ideas that he's brought up earlier in the book. Jesus is our great priest, great high priest, and Jesus is the Son of God. So who is the high priest? Well, the high priest is in the Old Covenant, a son of Aaron who officiates over the sacrificial system. He's the one who goes into the most holy place during the Day of Atonement in Leviticus chapter 16 once a year. He's the leader of the priests. Jesus isn't from the tribe of Aaron or the tribe of Levi, the sons of Aaron, and yet he is a priest, and he is a different high priest. Hebrews is going to get into that when we get to Hebrews 7 and 8, and this idea of priesthood is really going to become the focal point of the book all the way through chapter 10, really from this point onward, with a couple of times where he digresses into a minor argument. So Jesus is our great high priest. He's passed through the heavens. That's going to be explained a little bit more in chapter 10. He's the Son of God. And because of who Jesus is, and because of what Jesus did, because he's our high priest, and because he passed through the heavens, Jesus is Jesus as the Son of God. Because of what he did and because of who he is, the Son of God, we are to do something in response. And that response is we are to hold fast to our confession. We're to hold fast in that belief in who Jesus is and what Jesus has done. So this is just a call to persevere. And then he's going to say in verse 15, "For we do not have a high priest who is unable." Notice here we've got a double negative, do not, unable. So it's really just stating this in a positive fashion. "For we have a priest who is able to sympathize with our weaknesses." We do not have a high priest who is unable. So we have a high priest who is able to sympathize with our weaknesses. But one who in every respect has been tempted as we are, yet without sin. So Jesus is like us in that every respect language was used in 2:17 to talk about how Jesus took on flesh, right? He became incarnate. He became like us in every respect. He was tempted like we are, and yet he was without sin. So because of this, because he is like us, and because we have this great high priest, we're to hold on to our confession, and then we're supposed to let us, with confidence, draw near. So we're supposed to hold fast, and we're supposed to draw near to the throne of grace, that we may receive mercy and find grace to help in time of need. So that we may receive mercy and find grace to help in a time of need. And all of this, the confidence that we have, is based upon, again, that confession that we have. The reason why we can hold fast, the reason why we can draw near, is because of who Jesus is and what Jesus has done. And we go to his throne. He's going to talk about how later we go boldly before his throne because of who he is and what he did, what he's done. And because we know that we've received mercy and grace from God. That is who our priest is, and I hope that you can rest in that today.